But first, as usual, over to sunny Anglesey for a shootout.
And this week, I've got two big uns.
This is a battle of the SUVs. And this is the latest Porsche Cayenne, the GTS. It's basically an off-roader fitted with sports car suspension, steel springs and electronic dampers. Flared wheel arches, lower right height and a turbo look-alike front and rear give it a racy look. It costs £54,350, gets to 62 in 6.1 seconds and has a top speed of 157, which are almost identical performance figures to this, the BMW X5, our current favourite SUV for track use. Like the Porsche, it uses a 4.8-litre V8, although the X5 is a little down on power. But the BMW is the lighter car, so which will be quicker around our track? We'll start with the BMW.
Every time I drive an X5, it never ceases to amaze me how sports car-like it is, with its clever X-Drive four-wheel drive system and a man's portion of torque, which makes you go into, apex and exit corners with no fuss and no delay. This is the 50 grand SE model, and it's got the optional sports suspension on it, which also includes 19-inch alloys and electronic dampers, which adds almost 4 grand to that price. But hey, it boosts on-track performance.
Let's see by how much. Start the clock.
Heaving down onto the big brakes, let the gearbox select second gear, which it does effortlessly. The fastest part of the circuit, 90 miles an hour, 5,000 RPM, 100 miles an hour. Into the last set of corners now. Keep it nice and tidy right to the very end.
The X5 crosses the line in 1 minute 29.4. Let's see what the Cayenne is made of.
The biggest difference when you jump into the Porsche from the BMW is that the Cayenne looks and feels more expensive and faster too. If you leave it all in sport mode, then you get stiff dampers and perfect on-track performance. There is barely a sniff of body roll. Sport mode also gives you a crisper throttle response. So out of the corners, you can quickly access that 405 bhp. That's almost 50 brake horsepower more than the BMW. But it is amazing to think that both cars will hit 62 miles an hour in around 6 seconds. I mean, these things weigh 2 tons.
But which will post the fastest lap time? Start the clock.
Braking into second for the hairpin, turn in. Such wonderful smooth turn in, just more fluid than the BMW. And it really attacks the exit.
At the first checkpoint, the Cayenne is already 1 second ahead of the X5.
What are we doing? 6,250, almost on the red line. 112 miles an hour. Oh, coming to a stop.
On to checkpoint 2, and the Cayenne has increased its lead by another half a second.
It loves being chucked from left to right. It does it so willingly. Anyway, has she done enough to beat the BM?
Of course she has. The Porsche finishes in 1 minute 27.6. That's nearly 2 seconds ahead of the BMW.
I know both those cars have got active stability management and, you know, they sort out the corners for you a little bit, but it still stuns me exactly how quickly you can barrel round that track and not basically flip the car over. I suppose that's where the real engineering heft of those cars gets revealed.
Yeah, it amazes me as well. And you know what? That Cayenne was 2 seconds a lap quicker than a Vauxhall VX R8. It is staggering. It's almost unbelievable. But it has become my new #1 sports SUV.
Well, I'll remember that next time I've got £55,000 in my back pocket and a taste bypass. Anyway, that's it for this bit. Here's what's coming up after the break.